The morning started like every other Monday. I walked into Carter Dynamics with coffee in one hand and my laptop in the other. Sophia was already sitting at her desk. "You're late," she said. "I'm 3 minutes early. You're still late for me." I smiled. "Then I'll make it up to you tonight." She looked at me for a moment before turning back to her screen. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing." That sounded like something. "I'm just tired, Ethan." I wanted to believe her. For 3 years, I had trusted Sophia more than anyone. She was my girlfriend, my closest co-worker, and the person I thought would never betray me. What she didn't know was that I secretly owned most of Carter Dynamics. I had hidden that truth because I wanted to know whether people valued me for myself or for my money. Especially Sophia. I wanted her love to be real. That morning, I still believed it was. That afternoon, I was sitting at my desk when Victor Hayes called Sophia into his office. "Sophia, can you come in for a minute?" I looked up immediately. Victor rarely called employees into his office without a reason. Sophia stood from her chair and adjusted her jacket. "Do you know what he wants?" I asked. She shook her head. "No idea." "You look nervous." "I'm not nervous." "You are." She gave me a small smile. "I'll be back soon." "Okay." I watched her walk toward Victor's office. Before she entered, Victor opened the door for her. Their eyes met for a moment. Then the door closed. I leaned back in my chair. Something felt wrong. I tried to focus on my work, but I kept looking at the glass walls of Victor's office. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. Then 20. Finally, Sophia walked out. She wasn't smiling. I stood immediately. "What happened?" "Nothing. You were in there for 20 minutes. Victor had something to discuss." "What kind of something?" She picked up her phone. "Work." "Sophia." She looked at me. "What? You're hiding something." "I'm not." "You are." She sighed. "Can we talk later?" "Sure." "When?" "Tonight." "Maybe." "Maybe." "I have plans." "Hier." "With who?" She looked uncomfortable. "I don't know yet." "That doesn't make sense." "Ethan, please." I lowered my voice. "Okay. I am sorry." She looked at me for a moment. Then she said, "Victor offered me a promotion." I blinked. "A promotion?" "Yes." "What kind?" "Senior marketing director." I immediately smiled. "Sophia, that's huge." "I know. You've wanted that position for years." "I know. You should be happy." "I am." But her voice didn't sound happy. I stood and hugged her. "You earned this." She remained still in my arms. I pulled back. "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "You keep saying that." "Because nothing is wrong." "Then why do you look scared?" She looked away. "Because Victor wants something F." That evening, I stayed at the office later than usual. I told myself I was finishing work, but the truth was different. I was waiting for Sophia. She had promised to talk to me, yet hours had passed without a single message. At 8:17 p.m., I finally called her. She answered after several rings. "Hello. Where are you?" "At the office." "I'm still here too." There was silence. "Where exactly?" I looked toward Victor's office. "Near the conference rooms." Her voice changed. "Ethan, you should go home." "Why?" "I have something to finish." "With Victor?" Another silence. "Yes." I stood. "What are you doing with him?" "Nothing you need to worry about. I'm your boyfriend. I think I deserve to know. Please don't make this harder." "What does that mean?" "I'll explain later." The call ended. I stared at my phone. Something was seriously wrong. I walked toward the conference rooms. Most of the lights were off, but I noticed a thin line of light beneath one door. I moved closer. Then I heard Victor's voice. "You understand what I need?" Sophia answered quietly. "Yes." "Then send me Ethan's project files tonight." My heart stopped. I stood completely still. Sophia whispered, "He trusts me." Victor laughed. "That is exactly why you were chosen." "Victor, you promised me the promotion. You'll have it tomorrow morning. And Ethan, he'll take the blame." My hands tightened. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I pushed the door open. Both of them turned toward me. "What did you just say?" Sophia's face went white. "Ethan." Victor remained strangely calm. "You shouldn't be listening outside private meetings." I heard everything. Sophia stepped toward me. "Please, let me explain." "Explain what?" "I didn't want this." "But you agreed." She looked down. I was desperate. Desperate enough to betray me? "Ethan, please." I looked at Victor. "What did you promise her?" Victor smiled. That's between so. I stared at the email until the words blurred. This can't be real, I whispered. Sophia stepped closer. Ethan, don't. She stopped. I looked at Victor. You planned this. Victor folded his arms. You should be careful with accusations. You told her to send my files. And now I'm being accused of stealing them. That doesn't prove anything. I laughed bitterly. You really think I'm stupid? Victor's expression hardened. You were given access to sensitive information. That information was transferred from your account. The company has every right to investigate. My account was never used by me. That's what you say. I turned towards Sophia. Tell them. She looked terrified. Tell them what? Tell them you sent the files. Victor immediately interrupted. She has nothing to do with this. I stared at him. Interesting. What? You defended her very quickly. Sophia whispered. Ethan, please. No, I want an answer. She looked at Victor, then back at me. I can't. You can't. I was promised protection. My chest tightened. Protection from what? From losing everything. You mean your promotion? She nodded slowly. Yes. I shook my head. You sold me for a title. I didn't mean for you to get blamed. But I did. I know. You watched me receive that email. I was scared. So was I. She started crying. I'm sorry. I looked away. For 3 years, I had imagined growing old with this woman. I had pictured a home, a family, a future. Now all I could see was the moment she chose a promotion over me. Victor stepped closer. You should resign. I looked at him. What? Resign quietly. Accept responsibility for the data transfer. The investigation will end. And Sophia? She keeps her promotion. I stared at him. So that's the deal. It's a reasonable solution. No. Victor frowned. You're making a mistake. I won't take the blame for something I didn't do. I reached my apartment a little after 10. I threw my keys onto the table and stood there in silence. For the first time in 3 years, I felt completely alone. My phone buzzed. Sophia. I watched her name appear. I didn't answer. She called again. Still, I let it ring. A message appeared. Please talk to me. Another followed. I am sorry. I stared at those words. Then I typed, why did you do it? I deleted the message. I typed again. Was the promotion worth this? I deleted that too. Finally, I wrote one sentence. You made your choice. I sent it. Her reply came immediately. I didn't know what else to do. I looked at the screen. I wanted to hate her. Part me did. But another part still remembered every good moment we had shared. I sat down and called Daniel. He answered quickly. What happened? I've been suspended. There was a long silence. Why? Victor accused me of leaking confidential information. I knew Victor was dangerous. She gave him my files. Who? Sophia. Daniel exhaled. Are you sure? I heard her. Then this is bigger than a promotion. I know. Where are you? At home. Stay there. Why? Because you're angry. I have every reason to be angry. That doesn't mean you should act while you're angry. I looked at the documents on my table. They think I'm guilty. Let them think that for now. Daniel, Ethan, listen to me. You have something they don't know about. I remained silent. Your ownership. I know. Then don't reveal it yet. Why? Because the moment Victor learns who you really are, he'll change his strategy. I understood. You're right. Find evidence first. I will. After the call ended, I sat at my desk. I opened my private laptop. Nobody at Carter Dynamics knew about it. Nobody knew that the company's majority shares were controlled through Carter Holdings, a private company registered years ago. My name wasn't visible on Ordner. Walked into Carter Dynamics expecting answers. Instead, 2 security officers were waiting for me near the entrance. Mr. Carter? Yes. Please come with us. I looked at them. Why? We've been instructed to escort you to the security office. By whom? Neither man answered. I glanced toward Victor Hayes' office. Let me guess. Victor. The older officer looked uncomfortable. Please, sir. I followed them upstairs. Every step felt heavier than the last. Employees stared at me as I passed. Some whispered. I wanted to ask what they had heard, but I already knew. Someone had started a story about me. Inside the security office, Victor was waiting beside a table. He pointed toward a chair. Sit down, Ethan. I'd rather stand. Victor opened a folder. You've been accused of transferring confidential company information without authorization. I stared at him. That's a lie. We have evidence. Then show me. He pushed a folder toward me. Your workstation was used last night. I looked at the documents. My name was printed across every page. For the first time, I realized how carefully they had built the trap. Picked up the first page and read it again. Your workstation was accessed at 11:47 p.m., Victor said. I wasn't here. Your credentials were used. That doesn't mean I used them. Victor leaned back. Then explain it. I can't explain something I didn't do. He gave me a cold smile. That's convenient. I looked directly at him. You wanted this. His expression changed for half a second. Be careful, Ethan. You accused me without asking a single question. We have enough evidence to begin an investigation. You mean enough evidence to make me look guilty? The door opened. Sophia walked inside. My eyes immediately went to her. You knew about this? She lowered her head. I knew there was going to be an investigation. Did you tell them I didn't do it? She didn't answer. Sophia? No. My chest tightened. Why? She swallowed. I couldn't. You couldn't. I have to protect myself. Your promotion. She looked away. Ethan, I can't risk my promotion for you. For a moment, I couldn't speak. I had heard Victor accuse me. I had expected that. But hearing those words from Sophia hurt differently. I looked at her and whispered, So that's what I mean to you now. She wiped away a tear. I'm sorry. I shook my head. No, you're scared. Yes, she whispered. And you chose yourself. I didn't know what else to do. I slowly placed the papers back on the table. Now I know. Victor closed the folder. Your access has been suspended until the investigation is complete. I looked at him. So I'm guilty now? No, you're under investigation. That sounds like the same thing when everyone already believes you. Victor stood. Please surrender your access card. I reached into my wallet and pulled it out. For 3 years, that card had opened every door in the building. I placed it on the table. You're making a mistake. Victor smiled. Perhaps. I turned towards Sophia. She was still crying. I wanted her to say something. Anything. Are you really going to let them do this? She looked at me. I don't know what to say. Then tell the truth. I can't. Why? Because I'm afraid. So am I. She lowered her eyes. I walked toward the door. Ethan, wait. I stopped. Can we talk? I looked back at her. We already talked. Please. You made your choice. She stepped forward. I never wanted you to get hurt. But you knew I would. She had no answer. I left the room. Outside, I stood beside my car and took a deep breath. My hand was shaking. I wanted to go back inside. I wanted to expose Victor immediately. I could reveal everything. I could tell them the truth. I own the company. Victor had no idea, but I remembered Daniel's warning. Don't reveal who you really are. I reached for my phone. There was only one person I needed to call. My brother. Daniel answered before the first ring finished. What happened? They suspended me. Why? Victor accused me of leaking confidential files. Daniel went silent. Then he asked, Does Sophia know? She helped him. Are you sure? I heard them myself. Daniel sighed. Then listen carefully. Don't confront Victor. I want to expose him. You can, but not while you're angry. They're destroying my name. I know. I could reveal everything right now. Daniel knew exactly what I meant. You could tell them you're the owner. Yes. Don't. I looked toward the company. Why? Because the moment Victor learns who you really are, he'll stop making mistakes. You think I should just let him continue? I think you should let him reveal himself. I was silent. Daniel continued. Find evidence first. I will. And Ethan, what? Don't become the person you're fighting. His words stayed with me. I promise. Good. Now call Grace. I ended the call and immediately dialed her number. She answered quickly. What happened? I was suspended. Why? Victor says I leaked confidential files. That makes no sense. I know. Who had access to your computer? I don't know. Think carefully. Sophia knew my password. Grace went silent. Did she ever use your computer? Sometimes. Then I'll check the access logs. How long? A few hours. I need proof, Grace. You'll get it. I sat inside my car and waited. For the first time that day, I felt like I wasn't completely alone. 2 hours later, my phone finally rang. It was Grace. I answered immediately. What did you find? Someone accessed your workstation while you were asleep. My heart tightened. When? 11:42 p.m. I was home. I know. Can you identify the device? I traced the access. To where? Grace paused. Inside Victor Hayes's department. I sat up. So Victor did it? I didn't say that. But someone working for him did. Yes. I closed my eyes. What else? There's something worse. What? The credentials used during the transfer belonged to Sophia Bennett. My hand tightened around the phone. She helped them. Ethan, don't do anything yet. I won't. Promise me. I promise. I ended the call and stared through the windshield. Sophia had betrayed me. Victor had framed me. And now I had proof that the trap had been built from inside his department. They thought I was the villain. I could expose myself right now. I could reveal that I owned the company. But Daniel was right. If Victor knew who I really was, he would stop making mistakes. So I would wait. I would watch. I would collect evidence. And when the truth finally came out, I wouldn't need revenge. The truth would destroy the lies for me. I started the engine and whispered, "They think they've won." I looked back at the company. They have no idea what comes next. Waited outside the company cafe until Sophia finally appeared. She stopped the moment she saw me. "Ethan, we need to talk." Her eyes moved around the hallway. "Can we go somewhere private?" "No." She looked surprised. "Why?" "Because I'm done hiding conversations for you." She lowered her voice. "People are watching. Let them." "Ethan, please." "Esther de here. You owe me the truth." "I know. Then tell me why you did it." She looked down. "Already told you." "No. You told me you were scared." "That's not the whole truth." She remained silent. I stepped closer. "Why did you give Victor my files?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Because he promised me the director position." I felt my chest tighten. "So it was true." "Yes. You traded my trust for a promotion. I never wanted to hurt you. But you knew what you were doing. I didn't know he'd blame you. You gave him exactly what he wanted. I thought he only wanted the project information. You believed Victor would keep his promise?" I had to believe him. Why? Because I was tired. Tired of what? Tired of being invisible. Esther de here. You were never invisible. You don't understand. Then make me understand. She wiped her tears. I worked here for years. I stayed late. I took every difficult assignment. I watched people with connections move ahead of me. That doesn't justify what you did. I know. You could have talked to me. You would have told me everything would be fine. Because I would have helped you. She shook her head. You always say that. Because I mean it. You don't know what it's like to feel stuck. I swallowed. Maybe I don't know everything about your life, but I knew you. She looked at me. I thought you did. I did. Then why are you looking at me like I'm a stranger? Because I don't recognize you anymore. She started crying. I'm sorry. I looked away. For 3 years, I had imagined Sop. Had barely reached the parking lot when my phone rang. Victor. I stared at his name for several seconds before answering. What do you want? Come to my office. I don't work for you anymore. You're still under investigation. So we need to discuss your future. I laughed bitterly. You mean the future you try to destroy? Don't make this emotional. You framed me. You haven't proven that. You know I didn't do it. Then come prove it. I almost hung up. Instead, I asked, what do you want? I have an offer. I don't want anything from you. You may change your mind. What kind of offer? Come to my office. I ended the call. 20 minutes later, I stood outside Victor's office. He opened the door himself. Come in. I walked inside. He pointed toward a chair. Seat. I'll stand. Victor smiled. Still stubborn. Still lying. His smile disappeared. You're in a difficult position, Ethan. You created that position. You're under investigation for stealing confidential information. I didn't steal anything. The evidence says otherwise. The evidence was manufactured. Can you prove that? I'm working on it. Victor leaned back. Then you should listen carefully. He opened a folder and pushed a document toward me. What is this? Your resignation. I looked at the paper. You want me to resign? Quietly. And what happens afterward? The investigation ends. I looked at him. Just like that. You accept responsibility for the data leak, and the company moves on. I laughed. You want me to destroy my own reputation. You'll avoid a worse outcome. What worse outcome? Termination for misconduct. I stared at him. And Sophia? Victor didn't answer immediately. She keeps her promotion. There it was. The real price. I leaned against the desk. So, this is what you promised her. She earned it. She betrayed me for it. She made a business decision. Drove home after leaving Victor's office, but I couldn't stop thinking about what he had said. You're an employee, Ethan. Those words kept repeating in my mind. He believed he knew me. He believed he understood my position. He had no idea. When I reached home, Daniel was already waiting. You look exhausted, he said. I am. Sit down. I dropped onto the sofa. Daniel handed me a glass of water. What exactly did Victor say? He wants me to resign. Did he threaten you? Yes. What did you tell him? No. Daniel smiled. Good. He also told me Sophia would keep her promotion. Daniel's expression changed. And you? I refused. You did the right thing. I looked at him. Did I? Yes. What if I lose everything? You won't. You don't know that. I know you. I looked down. Do you? Daniel laughed softly. I know the real you. I remained silent. He sat beside me. You're thinking about revealing everything. I didn't answer. That means yes. I can't keep pretending forever. You don't have to. I hid my identity because I wanted to know whether people valued me. And what did you learn? I laughed bitterly. That people change when they think you have nothing. Daniel nodded. Mom warned us about that. I looked at him. What exactly did she say? He leaned back. She once told me, give people power over nothing, and they'll show you their character. Give them power over something, and they'll show you their hunger. I swallowed. That sounds like her. She also said something else. What? Never let someone else's behavior decide what kind of man you become. I looked at my hands. I'm trying. I know. I wanted revenge. That's normal. I wanted to walk into Victor's office and destroy him. But you didn't. No, that's progress. I smiled faintly. Maybe. My phone vibrated. It was Grace. I answered. Did you find anything? Yes. He said uplights. What? The next morning, I woke up with one thought in my mind. I needed evidence. Not anger. Not revenge. Evidence. I called Grace before leaving my apartment. Any progress? Yes. My heart tightened. What did you find? I recovered part of the transfer record. Can you prove Sophia sent the files? Her credentials were used. That isn't enough. I know. Can you prove where the files went? Yes. I stood immediately. Where? An encrypted account connected to Victor's department. I closed my eyes. So Victor was behind it. Most likely. Most likely isn't enough. I'm still working. Keep going. I will. I ended the call. My phone rang again. Sophia. I almost ignored it. Instead, I answered. What? Can we meet? What? I need to talk to you. We already talked. Please. I hesitated. Fine. 10 minutes. We met at a small cafe near my apartment. Sophia sat across from me. She looked tired. I haven't slept. Neither have I. I keep thinking about everything. Good. She looked hurt. I deserve that. Yes. She folded her hands. I want to tell you the whole truth. Then tell me. Victor promised me the director position before I ever gave him your files. I remained silent. He told me he needed information about the project. And you believed him. I wanted to. Why? Because I was desperate. You keep saying that. Because it's true. She looked into my eyes. I was afraid I'd spend my whole life being ordinary. There is nothing wrong with being ordinary. You don't understand. Maybe I don't. She took a breath. I wanted people to respect me. You could have earned that respect. I tried. You chose a shortcut. Yes. Now you have to live with it. Tears appeared in her eyes. Do you hate me? I looked at her for a long moment. No. She looked surprised. Why not? Because hate would mean I still want something from you. She lowered her head, stared at the ownership documents on my desk. For years, I had kept them hidden. I had told myself I was protecting my private life. Now I wondered if I had simply been waiting for a reason to use them. Daniel walked into the room. What did you find? I looked up. Victor is stealing from the company. Daniel's expression changed. How much? Million. And you have proof? Grace is collecting it. He walked closer. Then don't rush. I won't. You sound different. I feel different. How? I looked at the documents. I used to think revealing the truth would solve everything. And now I know the truth has to come first. Daniel nodded. That's what Mom wanted. I smiled faintly. She always told us power should protect people. not punish them. Exactly. My phone rang. Grace. I answered. Tell me you found something. I did. What? I found the original transfer request. My heartbeat quickened. Who authorized it? Victor's executive account. And Sophia? Her credentials were used to access your files. So Victor ordered it, and Sophia helped. Yes. I closed my eyes. Can you preserve everything? Already did. Send copies to my private account. I will. Grace. Yes. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This is only the beginning. I ended the call. Daniel looked at me. What now? I stood and picked up the ownership folder. Now I stop hiding. He stared at me. Are you sure? No. Then why? Because they tried to destroy me without knowing who they were attacking. I opened the folder. I won't use this to hurt them. Daniel nodded. I'll use it to protect the company. I looked toward the window. For the first time, I didn't see myself as the victim. I saw a man who had been given a choice. I could become cruel, or I could become stronger. Il chose étranger. My phone buzzed again. A message from Sophia. I'm going to tell the investigators everything.